Okay, go for it.
Sure, Siyanda, Mandla Gala Media. Ngicela ukubuza mfethu ukuthi since ubuye ekhaya, udlala ku-SuperSport, since kunjani and how you finding things ekhaya, you've been gone for a couple of seasons, so kunjani ukubuya mfethu?
Ngiyangijabulisa ukubuya bafana. I think it came at the right time for me to come back to SuperSport. If you had to ask me a month ago what was my plan, according to my career, I would have just told you otherwise about coming back home. But I think they just came at the right time, and the project that they had for me, it was something that made sense for me at this age and time. So that is why I decided to come back home.
Sure.
Titi?
Thanks, Grant. Congrats on the call-up. I think this is your first official Bafana Bafana call-up. Take us through the motions. Did you expect that this call-up will come at this point in time?
Firstly, for me, it's an honor to be here. I've been part, of the preliminary squads. I've been working hard with my club, SuperSport. So for me, it was just to be patient and to always make sure that I perform well. And now is to make sure that we pay the coach, and just do well for the team.
Okay, we're going to go Mark, turn back there.
Thanks. Mark Strain, Times Live. Siyanda, can I just ask, to have two strikers called up to the squad with the Nations Cup now 3-4 months away, both of them playing in the top flights in Europe, one in League One, Motivo, and one in the Premier League, Foster. Just, I'm not saying they need to be the frontline strikers, because there's also Lapasa scoring goals here. But just what do you think that does? Because I don't think many Bafana coaches have had two top flight strikers, both of them scoring goals, in their squad. What do you think that does ahead of the AFCON especially?
I think for us that's the greatest headache you'd ever have as a player and as a coach, to have three strikers who are all capable of scoring goals and who are doing fairly well for their respectful teams. And I think I'm going to be very honest. If I to answer that question, I'm very happy that we have three strikers who are very capable of scoring and who are on form at the moment. It will help the team, and it will help with the objective of us trying to win every game that we play part in.
Next question, Tabo?
Papashe, you are one of the senior players within the team, and the country is booming with young players. Abane talented mangazai. Kuthini nje kuwena ukuba succession plan ye squad say to that these young players are raising their hands. I mean, we've got 16-year-olds now who are applying their trades within the PSL space. You as a senior who's very close to the coach, how much of that becomes part of your conversations when you look at your colleagues as well as talking to the technical staff? If I can add one to Grant. Grant, Stan says you also one of the players that have been looked at by foreign teams, and then he says that he did say, make it clear that you're not going anywhere until you have served them a season or two at least at SuperSport. What does it mean for you to get a call up to the national team, knowing very well that you still have so much to do outside of South Africa?
I think the situation regarding the national team and the SuperSport United, it has some similarities where it comes to a lot of youngsters coming in, and a big responsibility from myself and the other senior players to just try and be responsible for the performances, for the training sessions, for them to understand what it needs to be done for us as a team to achieve whatever we want to achieve. I mean, it's the same thing that happens here at the Bafana. We have a very young pool of squad, youngsters who are doing very well currently at PSL and international level, which is very good for me. I can only be as excited to welcome young players coming into a national team, and for me to give the guidance, because I was once young and I was in a very same situation as they are now, and I was going to be very happy if I had a coach like Coach Hugo who always want to put in youngsters in the team and make sure that they realize their dream.
Like I said, it's an honor for me to be here, but it's just another step for me. For me, it's all about how can I take my game to the next level. So for me, it's now all about making sure that I do well in the next 2 games, with the opportunities probably the coach will give us, and just to make sure I do well and to make sure that I consistently stay part of the group, part of the bunch. And with SuperSport, for me now it's just to make sure I do well this season. Whatever happens off the field, that I leave for management. But for me, it's all about making sure that I do well, at the club level, and to make sure that we compete this season, and hopefully reward ourselves with a cup and make sure that we finish, like we did last season in the top 10.
Grant, you have under 20 AFCON, under 23 AFCON experience, under 20 World Cup experience. How important is for you to add the senior AFCON experience and even in terms of applying it to show the coach that you are experienced at this level? And also let's talk about the competition in your position, because I think that maybe after the strikers now is the hotly contested position. Does also mean that you need to entrench yourself in this camp?
Yeah, like you mentioned, I've been part of the junior national teams, and taking part in the AFCONs, and for me, it's always good to represent the country, and I can only take that past experiences with me, and hopefully make sure that I can take that and put it in now to the senior team. And like you said, if you look at the midfielders, in the PSL, or we have player like Bloom, who's also doing well in the MLS, who's not here with us. I think there's a lot of competition, so for me it's to always make sure that I don't take my foot off the pedal. I have to keep on doing well, keep on pushing myself, like I said, just to make sure that I keep myself, with part of the team and to stay consistent.
Mahlatsi?
My question is for you, Sia. Sia, just as a follow-up to Ratamba's question about seniority. Not so long ago, Coach Mangoba Mnuti spoke about senior players not being selfish, and he was referring to the late Alan Ngonga, who at training was actively helping Tapalo Marana to improve. And I'm saying this to you, looking at this young kid, Ime at SuperSport. Are you actively trying to help him to improve? Because you are fighting for the same position, but can you help him to sort of constantly improve? Because you can see he has also impressed the coach even at so early in his career.
A very good player. He has a great potential to be one of the best in South Africa. We normally have our chat every training session and every game. I'm trying to help him as far as I can whilst I'm still around. That whatever he does, he must just make sure that he always thinks about the future. The coach has identified him as one of the future, so he must just try and make sure that he stays consistent. And I'm just going to try and help him as far as I can, just for him to improve his game. It is something that other senior players has done for me as well. So I don't think that it's something that is going to be new to me. And any young player knows how to handle my conversations, because it's always fruitful for me to see young players doing well, because I was once young at some stage.
Okay, I think I'm going to go back to Grant. Let's talk about the aspect of your game. Which one would you say it has improved? Because we spoke to Coach Gavin the other time, and he did share what he had shared with you in terms of offensive play and how we'd like to see you exerting yourself more in that space. What has happened in that space? Because if you recall, during your time at at Ajax, you used to have those long-range strikes that you would take and score good goals.
Yeah, no, before the league started, the coach told me that he wants me, to get myself, more into the box. Now it's important, for a midfielder, to contribute as well to the goals and to the assist. So for me now, I've been working, to make sure that, my time, when I enter the box, when I go forward, make use of it, and also, encouraging me, to have more with the ball, because he feels, I have the speed over 5-10 yards, with the ball. So that's been something I've been working on, and I think, I have to be grateful to the coach, he's always motivating me, giving me confidence, and telling me I should believe in my ability. So for me, it's just to make sure that I keep on doing that, and I think it's also, it's also about taking chances, and now gambling, So for me, that's been something now that I've been working on, just to make sure that I keep on getting into the box.
Last two questions. Lorenz, Temba.
For Grant, does it help you that you're playing in a similar type of setup at SuperSport with a midfield too that gives you a license to roam and move forward coming into the national team?
Yeah, I think it will help, Obviously, myself and Indlovo, we formed a good relationship, partnership, amongst us two. So for me, it's just to make sure I bring that, to the national team, and to make sure I be myself, and just keep on doing what I've been doing, in the league.
Temba, wrap it up first, please. Okay, TT will wrap it up first. No, Temba, TT, and that's it.
Thank you. Sia, it's 4 months to go before AFCON. As a senior player, the importance of doing well, not only in official matches, in friendly, to do well against Namibia, like the likes of your Congo, to try and make sure that you cement that spot. I'm sure you want to go to AFCON next year. The importance of doing very well to cement your spot for next year's AFCON.
Friendly games are meant for that, for you to try and make sure that you perform at your best, make sure that you do well. I think because they are friendlies, so there's not that amount of pressure that one can take when it comes to compared to AFCON itself or maybe the World Cup qualifiers. So I think it's just for us as players to try and make sure that we perform at our best. Obviously, sticking to what we want to achieve as a team, which is winning, which is making sure that we continue with what we've been trying to do for the past 2 years, which is to form a very competitive team.
Right, guys, that wraps up our press conference. Thanks so much. First 15.